Today's Namaste Yoga continues our Benefits of Yoga series, and today's benefit is your hormone and endocrine system. Hello and welcome to episode 199 of Namaste Yoga on the shores of Lake Ontario. I was joking around with all the people that joined us for episode 200, the filming of episode 200 on last Saturday, that this might be the least anticipated episode of all of Namaste Yoga since everybody's now eagerly awaiting the episode 200. So people drove from all over, near and far. Carrie and Sue drove about 9 hours from the Boston, Massachusetts area. And then Allison and her husband Peter drove almost as far, maybe even farther, about 9 or 10 hours from the New Jersey area. There were so many people that joined us. I'm not going to name any names with this, but I was really touched that there were two women with children with very special needs that had their husbands look after their children all day, and they also have other children that had activities going on that day. And so I want to thank their husbands for looking after their children that day so that they could be with us for the filming. I was really touched that they were both able to join us that day. Donna, who gives us our clothes for the shows of Squeeze, was able to join us. You're going to get to meet her in the 200th episode. Lots of the teachers from the continuing education course for teachers were here. Anne-Marie, Lisa Dowring from Hamilton. Who else was here from that? Lisa Kerr, who filmed the sun salutations for us. She's from Newmarket. And then people who want to take the teacher training, Cindy from Oakville. And then there was Deb, who does my books for me, was here, and she also did so much to plan the day for us. She organized all the events at the table for us, and where we had lunch together afterwards. And just so many great people were with us that day. So I want to thank who else came that I haven't thanked. Nikki for coming. Julie, who had a memorial service that day, and her kids came and they were playing off camera the whole time. That was fantastic. Jennifer, she came by the table after. Thanks for coming by. And Tina and Cindy and Allison and Lisa and Sarah and Joanne, and I hope I thanked everybody who came. So thank you everybody for coming. And our theme for the class was transformation. And this week I shared my story of transformation. And a lot of people were really touched by that story, and we got a lot of comments and feedback on that. And I've been asking, and I only shared it because I've been asking you to share your stories of transformation. I've been really touched by the stories that I've been receiving. What we're going to do is when we release episode 200, we're going to release a video montage with your stories of transformation. And so I wanted to just share Janet's story of transformation this morning so you can get an example of what's been coming in, and to let you know that we're still receiving stories of transformation until Wednesday, October the 15th. And then that'll give Tim a couple of days to get them all together and put the video out. So here's Janet's story. Over the course of 2013, 280 days so far, I have practiced yoga. 98% of the time with Namaste Yoga. 2% was caused by technical glitches, but even then, I heard Melissa's voice as I did various asanas. The decision to eat better, give up soda, limit calories and processed foods were part of my 2013 New Year's resolutions. My 2013 yoga intentions were for strength, wisdom, and patience, and not necessarily in that order. Am I transformed? I don't know. I know I think twice about many things. Swatting flies and mosquitoes. Soda is out and water is in. I am 23 pounds lighter, and knock on wood, I haven't had any illness, not even a cold. Considering I have had breast cancer and osteoporosis and I am 61, I think that's pretty spectacular for 2013. So I think that's pretty spectacular for 2013 too, Jenna, and I'm so excited to see what the rest of this year brings and the coming years as well. And I'm really touched that you shared your story of transformation with us. And I would love for the rest of you, if you haven't sent in your stories of transformation, I would love to receive them. You can send them to me by email at info@melissawest.com. We're accepting them by SpeakPipe on our website. You can just record your voice. If you go to melissawest.com, it's really easy to do. You can send me a short video. If you send in your photo as well, we'll put your photo up with your story. And we just really want to include as many stories of transformation as we can, because it's all about you guys. It's not about me. It's about what's happened to you because of your yoga. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your yoga, and thank you all for transforming your lives and the lives of others through your yoga practice. So let's get on with our practice for today. Thanks to Donna for our clothes from Squeezed. I'm wearing a long sleeve, the new black bamboo long sleeve with the new short sleeve, cap sleeve bamboo top layered underneath. It's really cute like this because it's got a flared bottom. And the moss green leggings. And thanks to Dusky Leaf for our props. We're going to be using quite a few of them today. The bolster and the cork blocks today. And I'm going to get you set up because we're going to start with that today with our endocrine system class. If you don't have blocks, you can make do. You can roll up a sleeping bag like this or some blankets, and you can put blankets or pillows underneath your knees. But do put something underneath your knees. You don't want your knees hanging in midair. It's really bad for your SI joints because then there's no support or stabilization for your SI joints. You don't want to run into problems with those. Ask any experienced yogi about that problem. You're going to rest back like this. Place the blocks where your knees need the support. Then rest back over your bolster. And you're going to hang like this. And this is really great for your sex glands, male and female, for the ovaries for women, for the testes for men, and then for your thymus gland as well here, which is great for your immune system. You're going to hang out here while I contextualize this class for you. Okay. So this will be like a 101 class on your hormones. I'm just not a huge expert on hormones. This will just be beginner's very basic level what's going on with your hormones, okay? Hormones are really complex. This is just scratch the surface. So let's get that out of the way first. So your endocrine system secretes hormones directly into your bloodstream. Your endocrine glands run through the central channel of your body, balancing your chemical makeup. As many of you have probably experienced, if your hormones are off even just a bit, it can throw your whole being out of whack physically, emotionally, and mentally. There's a really funny saying that goes something like this. I love it when my brain chemicals and hormones are just right and I can actually enjoy life. So starting from the base of your spine, you have sex glands, the testes for men and the ovaries for women. Moving up to the area of your solar plexus, just above your navel, are your adrenals and your pancreas. At your heart center is your thymus and your atrial heart glands. At your throat is your thyroid and parathyroid. And at your third eye is your pineal gland and pituitary gland. So in women, the sex glands are your two almond-shaped ovaries located roughly in the middle of your pelvic cavity. Your ovaries secrete estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen and progesterone create women's female sexual characteristics and influence behavior. For men, their testes secrete androgens, testosterone, androsterone, and stimulate and maintain sexual characteristics and influence behavior. A lot of people have heard about your adrenal glands because of adrenal fatigue. Your adrenals sit on top of your kidneys at the base of your ribs on the back of your body. The main part of your adrenal glands activate your fight or flight response through epinephrine, which is adrenaline, and norepinephrine. This increases your blood pressure and respiration and gets your muscles ready for action. Not to mention, it slows down your digestion so you can be ready for emergencies. Your pancreas is a 6-inch long tongue-shaped gland. And if you put one hand slightly above your navel and the other one around the left side of your waist, this is basically where your pancreas sits. Your pancreas produces insulin and glucagon. Insulin lowers your blood sugar levels by increasing the transport of glucose across your cell membranes, especially your liver and muscle cells, therefore giving your body energy. Glucagon raises your blood sugar levels. Your pancreas produces about 1 liter of pancreatic enzymes, which are delivered to the duodenum through ducts for the digestion of food. Your arterial heart also secretes hormones to regulate body fluids. Your thymus gland sits behind your sternum on top of your heart, and it is extremely important for your immunity. Your thyroid sits at the base of your neck. Your thyroid gland has a tremendous effect on your body's metabolic rate. Your parathyroid sits right behind the upper and lower part of your thyroid. It controls the levels of calcium and the concentration of phosphate in your body. Your pituitary gland is a small pea-sized gland that is connected by a stalk to the hypothalamus. It lies behind your nasal cavity, slightly in front of the midline of your head. Your pituitary gland controls blood pressure, some aspects of pregnancy and childbirth, including breast milk production, sex organ function in both males and females, thyroid gland function, conversion of food into energy, metabolism, water regulation in your body, water balance by your kidneys, temperature regulation, and pain relief. Your pineal gland is located slightly behind and above your pituitary gland. Your pineal gland is affected by exposure to light and so helps with your sleep-wake cycle. It is responsible for secreting melatonin, which helps you sleep at night. So that is a down and dirty overview of your hormone and endocrine system. So just now reflect on which hormone, which part of your endocrine system might be most important to you right now, and begin to form an intention for what you would like to receive in your class today. Okay, so go ahead and start to wiggle and stretch out, and you're going to draw your knees in. Take the blocks out and roll to your side, and you can put your props off to the side. You'll actually need your block, one block still. And then just to loosen up your legs a bit from being in that reclined cobbler's pose, just going to take your feet as wide as your mat and do a little windshield wiper legs. So this also brings energy to your sex glands. And then we're going to do supported bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. And you're going to need your block for this. This is for your adrenals and your thymus gland. So you'll take your block and place your feet hip width apart so your feet are parallel. Press into your feet, lift your pelvis off the ground, and you're going to place your block underneath your sacrum to support your sacrum. So this has a lot of the same benefits as legs up the wall. Very soothing for your adrenals. Also really great for your thymus gland and immunity. We're just going to stay here in this supported bridge pose. There's definitely a bug. Yeah? Okay. Did I get it? Okay, good. It was like either a piece of hair or a bug. I was pretty sure it was a bug. Okay. Okay, then you're going to press into your feet, lift yourself up off the block, and slowly roll down through your spine one vertebra at a time. And then draw your knees into your chest. And then I'm going to show you the modification for the next one first, and then I'll show you the full one because the actual pose we're going to do is not going to be great for people with herniated discs and slip discs. So for people with herniated discs, you're going to take your feet out long. You're going to take your hands behind your head. You're going to inhale. You're going to exhale. You're going to do, it's going to be like an ab curl, but you're going to circle around and up and down. So it's like you're going to circle your ab curls and up and down. So it's just a circling action here. And for the rest of us, it's a moving grinding wheel. So you're going to bend, roll to the side, and come up to seated. And you're going to sit in staff pose first. Take your hands out in front. And this one is really great to massage your adrenals, your pancreas, and it's great for your reproductive organs as well, so your sex glands as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to circle down and around and up. So it's called chakki chalasana. Moving the grinding wheel. And then we'll go the other way. And then we're going to switch directions. If we didn't already, I can't really remember. So, Oh, Yeah, I can't remember because we had to stop for my favorite lawnmower men who were going in for their lunch. I'm going to switch directions now because I think I didn't. It's good. It's all good. We all waved and said hello. We all know each other now. Okay, great. So that was moving the grinding wheel. Very exciting. Okay, so if you're on your back, come on up to seated. We're going to do a pineal gland series now. So I'm going to get Tim to time us for this because it's a kriya. And it's for your pineal gland. And this is going to have my hands overhead, so you may need to adjust. Yeah. It starts with where you interlace your fingers, and the first one is you interlace your fingers and you bring them overhead, and you try and pull your hands apart, but you don't. That's just the energy of it. And if you want to do this sitting in a chair, you can. Sit in whatever position is most comfortable for you. We'll do this for 1 minute, and you breathe long and slow and deep, and then you bring your hands down into the Gyan Mudra. We'll sit here for 1 minute. And then the second one is same thing, except this time your thumbs are going to point behind you like this. So here, breathe deeply for 1 minute. And then we come back down, hands in the Gyan Mudra for 1 minute. And then it's the steeple mudra. And you come up like this for 1 minute, again pulling your hands apart. And then you come back down to the Gyan Mudra for 1 minute. And then you come up, you bring your arms to a 60-degree angle, and you do breath of fire. And the way in Kundalini yoga that you do breath of fire, it's active exhalation, active inhalation. So it's not like Kapalabhati breath. So it's like this. And you really move your belly. So your navel goes in and out, in and out. As you breathe out, your belly goes in. And as you breathe in, your belly relaxes. So you're supposed to do that for 3 minutes and rest in the Gyan Mudra for 3 minutes. But for the sake of time for our video today, we'll do 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay? So they're all going to be 1 minute. So let's start with the first one. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, take your arms overhead. Long, slow, deep breaths. And focus on your pineal gland and around your third eye, center of your forehead. Relax your shoulders down, shoulders heavy, shoulder blades slide down your back. Okay, and then bring your hands down. We'll relax with them here for 1 minute. Okay, and then this time you're going to interlace your fingers with your thumbs pointing behind. Inhale, take them overhead. Pull your hands apart. And then bring your arms down, relax deeply in the Gyan Mudra for another minute. Then interlace your fingers, extend your index fingers for steeple mudra, and take your hands overhead, pull them apart. Long, slow, deep breath, shoulders heavy. Relax your arms down again for another minute here. Just notice what's happening in your body, in your mind. And then breath of fire with your arms at a 60-degree angle. Active exhalation, active inhalation, drawing your navel in and out. Big inhale. Full exhale. Breathe in part way. Hold. Exhale. Gyan Mudra for 1 minute. Long, so deep breaths. Feel the effect of this kriya for your pineal gland. And then open your eyes. Fantastic. Okay, so that was the pineal gland kriya. So from here, we're going to make our way up to standing and do something to bring more blood flow to your brain for your pituitary gland. Okay, so make your way up to standing. And we'll do that exercise to bring blood flow to your brain. So just stand in Tadasana with your feet underneath your hip bones. Lift and spread your toes. Lengthen your legs long out of your pelvis and your spine up, your ears back over your shoulders. You're going to make your fingers into lion claws and take them over your head. And you're going to inhale, open your arms. Exhale, cross them. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross them. And you're going to use that same breath of fire you just used, where you draw your navel in and out as you breathe. So it goes inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. If this bothers your shoulders here, you could always do it a little bit more in front of you. That's a nice modification. Okay, here we go. Let's do this for about a minute. Okay. And then inhale, reach your arms up, turn your lion's claws out. And exhale, lower them down. And then take your feet wide on your mat with your toes pointing forward. And this is also for your pituitary gland. You're going to roll your pelvis over your leg bones and fold forward. Wide-legged, standing forward fold. And then you can come back up to standing, and you're going to make your way down to lying on your stomach on your mat. Okay. So go ahead and lie down on your stomach. And we're going to do half bow pose, or the Dhanurasana. And this is great for your thymus gland, which helps your immune system. So it's kind of cool how you find out how the poses help you and how that relates to your endocrine system. You take your arms out in front. Bend your right leg in. Reach around and hold onto your right ankle if you can reach. If not, hold onto your foot. And you could use your strap here too if you can't reach. You're going to roll your shoulder back and up. Press the front of your pelvis into the ground. And then pull your heel away from your buttocks to lift your chest up off the ground. So this is great for your thymus gland. And then you can slowly lower down. Release your right leg. Just take a moment here before you do the other side. So again, pressing the front of your pelvis into the ground. Bend your left leg in, reach around and hold on to your left ankle if you can reach, your foot if you can't. Roll your left shoulder back and up. Inhale. Exhale, pull your heel away from your buttocks until your chest comes off the ground. You can use your right hand for a little leverage here too. This is probably also very good for your arterial heart gland as well. And then slowly lower down. Take a moment here to pause. And just take a moment too to relax all your toes. My toes were tensing up there for some reason. Just check in and see if your toes are tensing up too. And then we'll come up and we'll do the counter pose here. So you can either do child's pose, draw your knees up underneath you, or if that doesn't work for your knees or for your body for any reason, you can always lie on your back with your knees into your chest. And then roll up to seated. Okay, we're going to do fish pose, Matsyasana. Here, I'm going to show a supported version of the pose, a modified version of the pose first, and then I'm going to show the full version of the pose. You can use your blocks for this pose. This is going to stimulate your immune system, your thymus gland, and your thyroid and parathyroid glands. So here, you can rest the shorter block underneath your rib cage, the base of your ribs, the bottom block, and then the higher block underneath your head. So that's the supported version. You could also use your bolster for this one. And then the fuller expression of this pose, you lie on your back and tuck your hands underneath you. Press into your forearms and your elbows. Lift your chest off the ground and place the top of your head on the ground. So you can see this really opens up your thymus gland behind your breastbone and your thyroid and parathyroid at your throat. And you can tuck your chin, lower yourself down, and hug your knees into your chest. And then you can release your knees and roll to your right side and make your way up to seated. So that leaves one endocrine system we haven't worked with today, and that's your pancreas. So take your legs straight out in front of you. We're going to do Matsyendrasana. So you're going to bend your right leg in, cross it over your left leg. And you can keep your left leg out long, or if you can bend your left leg in without your right buttocks or your left foot lifting off the ground, then you can do that. But you need your whole left foot and your whole right buttock staying on the ground. Press into the ground, and starting from the base of your spine, twist towards your bent right leg. So this is great for your pancreas. And then come back to the center. Take your legs straight out. And this time you'll slide your left leg in, cross it over your straight right leg, and you can leave your right leg long, especially if you have a hard time keeping your left foot and your left hip on the ground. And or you can bend your right foot up to your left hip. Wrap your right arm around your left leg and turn towards it. So it's kind of cool that we read Janet's story of transformation about giving up sodas for her 2013, one of her intentions, and got to think that's got to be good for your pancreas too. Cutting way back on sugar. Okay, and then release this twist from your body. You're going to come into a comfortable seated position. I'm going to use my blocks for this sitting meditation for Nadhi Shodhana. And you can just sit with it between your legs and then kneel. It's a really comfortable sitting position for meditation. And alternate nostril breathing is great for your pituitary gland. And the reason why we're doing so many poses for the pituitary gland is that it's like command center for your body. When I read at the beginning how many things like controls all the other hormones. So if you've ever had anything go wrong with your brain, you know how important the endocrine system for your brain, how it controls everything else. So I thought we'd just take a little extra care with that. So you can take your left hand, bring your thumb and your index finger together and rest it on your lap. Unless you're left-handed, you can switch this around. So extend your first two fingers, place them on your third eye. You're going to close your right nostril with your thumb. Breathe in through your left nostril. Close your left nostril with your ring finger. Breathe out through your right nostril. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. And let's do one more round. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. Lower your right hand down. And just take a few breaths and feel the effects of your practice. Just notice especially the state of your mind. And then you can go ahead and rest back in Shavasana. So as you rest back in Shavasana, reflect back on your practice today and what it was like to connect your yoga practice, your yoga asanas and breath practices and kriyas with your hormonal, your endocrine system. What did you learn today about how your yoga practice affects your endocrine system? So what stands out for you? What seems most important? How are you going to take what you Learn from today's class with you off your mat and into your life. Then gradually allow your breath to deepen. Start to wiggle and stretch out. Bend your knees. Roll to your right side. And if you want to know why we roll to your right side, go to my website and check out my blog post where I told you 3 reasons why we roll to our right side this week. And make your way up to sitting. So thank you for joining us for episode 199 of Namaste Yoga. I'm so excited for you to be here and for us to be able to roll out episode 200 that we filmed last week. And for you, thank you for all of you who have submitted your stories of transformation. And if you haven't already done so, still got a little time. I would love for you to get them in for us so we can all be in the video montage and our big theme of transformation for episode 200. So have a great week, and we'll see you for our big 200 celebration. Namaste. Over the course of 2013, 280 days so far, I have practiced yoga. We have a visitor. Hi, sweetie.